What's up?
Good evening. Hey.
Hey, boo.
What's up,
Ooh,
E?
I agree with
Hey,
I keep
Tiara.
saying
Even though I done talked to you like 3 different times
all
today.
day. Gotta be dramatic. I be saying I agree in without actually knowing what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is this: men are obsessed with compete with women, particularly black men. Um, and because we got proximity to black men for one, but for two, it goes back to hegemony masculinity and what happens when men subscribe to it. A lot of black men subscribe to hegemony masculinity, and it's and they have to exist in it in this hyper masculine they have to exist in this hyper masculine way, right?
Mhm.
By trying to figure out how to perform with limited resources. A lot of black men have limited resources because of racism. So what they do is they understand that they can't compete with a YT man and some other men who are doing well, who are able to show up in certain ways that they're supposed to. They're able to hit those bullet points. So what ends up happening is they get into this weird back and forth with us. And it's about manipulating us. It's about trying to dominate. It's about exploiting. All kind of things happen where they are constantly trying to put this competition with us because they cannot compete with other men. And it's them being frustrated because there is no competition. They have no way of competing with other men unless they want to talk about sexually. And even with that, that's the thing they hand in hand on is that sexually they have this they lean into them being able to be sexually dominant. But even that's not true. This lie about them being the only ones with certain attributes is just simply not true. But they hang their hats on this that stereotype, and that's another way they lean into it. But that's the only way they can compete. And we know, general like in the grand scheme of things, that's not enough because you playing into the one area that you think you can compete in not only is not enough to be competing with the other men, but it demonizes you and it puts you at more risk of being perceived as a threat that needs to be gotten rid of. So that's not healthy either. So yeah, like it's a lose lose. Like either they're competing with women, with black women because they cannot compete with the other men, or they try their hardest to lean in the one area that they think they have an advantage in, and that puts them in even more danger, and it puts them in situations that further takes them out of the running to be able to have access to resources, like going to prison or getting themselves into trouble, getting put out of certain spaces. So yeah, I think what it boiled down to is them being hyper masculine and not being able to compete with men, so they gotta compete with us. They
That's
got to
interesting
argue and
because
fight with us.
we also were talking about that how like men go to prison and like get dehumanized, treated like fucking animals, and their response to that is like, oh, I'm gonna try to be like the hyper masculine in me when they're like, I'm gonna try to compete with a woman is fucking crazy. When they're like, I'm gonna try to compete with a woman is fucking crazy. What's up, East? What you want to say?
I mean, I ain't got nothing to say now. Drinking and ate it all up. Dang. Um, I guess.
Now you got it's more to it. You got some in there. That's the surface. Go ahead and dive in. Let's get to it.
Um, dang. Cause they want to. Cause they bitches.
So what
Let
do
me
you think?
think.
What type of things do you think women do that make men feel like they gotta compete? Like what do they?
Let me see. Well, one, I think it's because women are. What do women do that makes men want to? Okay, so I think women have the ability to persevere. And I think that women have the ability, even I think that they see that when women, especially black women, are are the most oppressed groups, and we still Dark Horse said brush our teeth. And we still have the ability, even though we grew up in like red line neighborhoods, candy infested neighborhoods, we were still able to make our way out of it. The ones that did grow up in those environments, even the ones that, the suburban girls, they had to go through microaggressions, anti-blackness, misogyny war. We still made our way out of it. The girls that, black women were still able to, when we were became single mothers, like they love to tout, we still made our way past it. We still raised our kids healthy, happy individuals, got the our a lot of the people, those kids from HBCUs come from single mother households, and they're graduating with doctorates and masters and engineerings and bachelors and associates, whatever degrees. Our children are still making our way out of it. We were able to survive, and a lot of them couldn't. And like Dark Horse always says, a lot of them chose passive unaliving. I love that term, by the way. But a lot of them, instead of trying to persevere and make their way out of it, they chose to passively unalive. They chose to go into the GANG life. They chose to try to become basketball players and football players and rappers, because they knew that they either tried to go into that life. Most of them, 95% of them, will never succeed and into getting those types of careers, and they chose to passively sit on the corner and drink 40-ounce OEs and passively unalive. But black women chose not to do that, and I think that's what makes them so mad. They look at us and say, why is it that we all came from the same households, and yet black women are doing so much better? And this is why they try so hard to weaponize statistics and say, well, at the end of the day, y'all still the most evicted, y'all still the most y'all don't have the most degrees, y'all don't have this. But instead of so yeah, I'm gonna end it right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you because, like, ultimately, like, they don't want to celebrate shit we done did. Like, everything that black women accomplished, they try to downplay it. But everything is downplayed.
Yeah, everything. It don't matter. And it's you would think that, I mean, you would think that, if for men that are so worried about their image, they get up online and publicly put down the women in their community and say that you're the reason why we couldn't do this, you're the reason why we have so many crime, so much crime. But then a white person will come up here and say, yeah, well, 1350, right? They'll say, yeah, 13% of the population is responsible for 50% of the crime, and then they get all up in arms and say, get upset about that, but then simultaneously turn around and say, well, single mothers are the reason why, and it's like, you cannot combat the fact that we all grew up in the same exact environment. Most of us grew up in the same neighborhoods, in the same households, with the same single mothers, and y'all still could not outpace the women. So instead of trying to, do better and try to go into, like my good sis Drika say, participate in hegemonic masculinity, you pick the low hanging fruit like everybody else do and go attack black women.
And that's the
And
interesting.
then, oh,
No, just real quick, that they want to ignore that, like, because they want, when they always telling a sob that, they want to ignore that, like, because they want, when they always telling a sob story, then we be like, hold up, what is this video? It's women in those communities too. Then it becomes something totally different. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that part, but go ahead, man.
no, that's all I was about to say. They don't want to talk about. They would rather talk about. They would rather, instead of them saying like it's amazing some of the things that black women are able to do, and just, even if they wanted to claim it as their own, even if they want to say, despite us being enslaved and all the things that we experience, when you look at black folks, Look how many black people are in college. Look how many black people own homes. They could say it like that, even though we know it's women. Like, y'all get what I'm saying? Like, we know it's women though, or in those numbers. But if they included us in the community, couldn't they just simply say, no, that's not true. Look at all these black folks that have homes, they're entrepreneurs, they're doing this, they're doing that. Y'all talking about a small population of black folks that's doing these crimes. The majority of black folks is doing blah 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 blah. But they instead of them saying it like that, they would rather say that black women are in the most debt, black women get evicted, like East was saying, and they would rather blame black women for the supposedly small population of black folks and men, black men who are doing all these deplorable things that's a negative on the community. They would rather blame them for that and then make that the conversation instead of just uplifting and saying, no, black folks, we ain't as far as we need to do. You know, we need some more work to get some stuff done. But when y'all look at us as a whole, we're doing good. They would never do that. And that's why I think it's a competition, because they can't have us being perceived as doing better than them. So like the outside world, if YT folks are saying, oh, a lot of black women are going to college and trying to be nurses, they are not going to let that happen. They are going to push back and say, we rather get in debt instead of helping and being there for the children. Like, they'll say whatever. Like, they will do anything to take away from us, and that's how you know it's jealousy. Do anything to take away from us, and that's how you know it's jealousy. They like some jealous bitches. It's obvious.
It is obvious. It's super obvious. 30 ass was just in the comments somehow. Y'all had help raising them kids. And it's crazy because I was Red Pill Live earlier. And he was essentially saying, like, look how y'all messed up the community. Look what, like, y'all, this man was talking about the way women was dressing as if that was more harmful than men selling candy. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And
So
you know,
even when they ain't got nothing, they gonna make something up.
and what he didn't address is that even if we did have help raising the kids, it wasn't child out. We didn't get the help raising our kids from black men. Most single black mothers didn't get help raising their children from black men. So it's like y'all had help. You're acting as if receiving help is a bad thing, but y'all also are the same people that are saying, well, we don't have any community anymore. But then you're also now bashing black women for having a community. Make that make sense.
No, they just
We
gonna
would
get.
have more. Oh,
They gonna fuck you good live.
we would have more help and more money if the women in the community didn't have to pay for y'all to be on probation, parole, and prison. We would have way more resources. A lot of our do the most deplorable things. Like, when you think about all, if we could break down how much money goes into commissary, how much money is going into bail and bondsmen, how much money is going into paying probation and parole, if we added that money up, I think we'll be sick. I think we'll be sick. I think we'll be sick because black women, more than anything, are funding the prison industrial complex for our men who we have been told are victims. And that's a major, to be a criminal, it don't matter if it's 10 of them. In a community that's already limited and already starting from a deficit, to have to pour in all your money into a system that literally resembles the oppression that started it all, that literally resembles the bondage that our ancestors fought to get out of, and we putting so much money in it, it got to be sickening. It's crazy. And they don't even respect that. I just seen Love at the Lockup. And one of the dudes on there, he was arguing with the woman who he was dating while he was in there. He looked at that woman and told her she ain't do nothing for him. She ain't support him. Even though Julius, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she was supporting him, that's how they feel. Like, no matter, he's jealous of her. He was compete. He was talking about, I got money. He started saying that he got money. He could get money, even though he's living in her house, not helping her with her bills. All of a sudden, he got money. That is what they're comfortable. He's comfortable arguing with this woman, even though it's a woman that he's supposed to be romantically involved with. And it just shows that the stuff that we do is never going to get appreciated. They're going to always say what we don't do. Always going to say what we not doing. Go ahead.
I wanted to also address the negative things that they do a lot, and a lot when they say things like, well, black women are the most evicted. I wish we can come up with like a peer reviewed research study to for women to talk about how many black men got them evicted out those homes in the
Mm-hmm.
first place, because they couldn't control their temper and they didn't put 1,000 holes in her wall because they couldn't control their temper, and then they screaming, hollering, yelling, or they selling smugs out her house, or simply just because they refused to contribute to the household, and all of
Yeah.
that burden was placed on her shoulders. But they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about how many black women have lost their freedom protecting black men, how many black women have lost their jobs protecting being with black men. They don't talk about how many black women have lost their homes. They don't talk about how many black women have lost their children because they
Mm-hmm.
tried to stay with the father of their child.
Yeah. Who's harmful. Yeah. They don't want to talk about that because that's not them. It's never them, so they can't talk about it. They don't know nothing about all of that. And that's how easy it is to blame women and to put it on women, is to just pretend like you don't know what no one's talking about. But it always comes out when they start coming. Like, we hear it all the time when they come up here and they want to compete with us. They want to say that they got money. They want to go back and forth with us women. They come up here trying to give us wisdom and talking to us and trying to tell us who to sleep with, who not to sleep with, and what to do and what not to do. And they want to talk about all Pookie and Ray Ray and bring up all the money that we have or don't have. And that's very telling. Saying that they are the least ones to have kids, that black women are sleeping with the same Pookies and Ray Rays, that having more kids, that black women are sleeping with the same Pookies and Ray Rays, that having more children, and they make more money than us. But when you start asking them, well, how does that look with you other races of men? They literally start glitching.
Yeah,
They don't know what the fuck going on.
they can't answer that question almost every single time when it's like, okay, well, why don't we stop competing with the women and let's pit it against black men and Hispanic men, or black men and white men, or black men and Asian men. They like you said, they literally will start to glitch rather than just admit that just because y'all been spending your entire lives, instead of competing with other men, you just try to just keep the women in your life down. And it's like, it's a seriously like a main character syndrome, and it's really sad because you cannot be with a when it's like, no, you can't win for losing, because if you say, well, I don't want to, you know what, I don't have children, and I don't want to date a man with children, right? And it's like, okay, well, you don't want to date a man with a child. Well, what about a single dad who's working hard and this, that, and the third? Okay, so if you decide to date a man with children, oh, you dated a Pookie and a Ray Ray, you should have chose better. Okay, so what about if I say I'm not gonna do choose a Pookie and a Ray Ray. I'm gonna date a man that makes six figures. Oh, well, your standards are too high. You're just a black woman. You need to lower your standards. Okay,
Hmm.
well, you know what I'm saying? And then also, if you say, well, okay, well, he don't gotta make six figures. Let him make. Can he make 50,000? Oh, well, most black men only make an average of 48, 70, 37 to 40, $42,000 a year, and you don't. This is why you're going to be single forever, because you don't want to build with a black man. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, it's never ever ever ending.
No, because it's a lose lose situation. Because what they want to do is they want you to feel so desperate that you will settle. The end goal is for
Hold
you
on, hold
to
on. I'm sorry,
settle.
Patricia. 1 second. Ryder, you is a fake ass bitch. You sat there in Franklin's live for almost an hour talking shit about me in the fucking comments. You are a weird, fake ass, loser, pick me, fence riding, nigga fucking on the internet asshole. As a matter of fact, hold on. Oh, I'm not a mod on your page, Tara. Bring this bitch up.
You,
Bring
she had to
bring
wanna. She
Come
gotta
up,
wanna
come
come
up,
up.
come up on the panel. Since you had so much to say in the motherfucking comments, come up on the panel.
What the hell?
No, because this bitch has so much to fucking say in the motherfucking comments, rooting motherfucking all of them niggas on. You is a weird ass bitch. And then you get over here and try to say, yeah, decenter. Why don't you decenter that dick out your fucking mouth that you had in the motherfucking comment section, bitch? You had all that shit to say in the motherfucking comments, and you gonna come over here act like everything is all cool. No, bitch, get the fuck up here. Go ahead and put your motherfucking request in, cause it's all is it cause it's gonna be up and stuck with me and you. The way you was riding for the motherfucking niggas in the comment section, bitch, we about to be up and stuck forever, ho.
What the hell? What the hell I be missing, Lord? So you saying she wouldn't agree with the pose, the prompt?
I don't know what that bitch would agree with. She probably agree over here and disagree over there. Weird ass bitch. That's now I see why. Now I see why them young hoes over on that other side of TikTok be on your fucking neck, bitch. You're a fake ass hoe. What shall
Jesus,
I do? Money long. Your money's long because you're begging for money off the internet. Go ahead and beg another nigga for Uber Eats.
Jesus. Yeah, she's talking to Rhino.
Yeah, I'm talking to Ryder. Bitch was talking so much motherfucking shit in the comments for almost an hour straight, talking shit. Oh, she's a pick me, and oh my gosh, she's so disgusting. Da, 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 da. You're such a fucking loser.
I don't see your request, Ryder, because I would let you up. I'll let you up if you request. Yeah,
Hi.
give her response, a chance to respond to Eve because you was able to
Yeah,
say
go
it.
ahead and respond since you had so much shit to say in the comment section in Franklin Live. Go ahead and respond.
So firstly, I'm not really sure what comments you were referring to because I was not referring to you. So I really don't know what you're talking about. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I'm just moderating and being a mod. That's all. There are certain people that were speaking a lot. That were on the
Oh, you a
panel.
mod over there? Oh, you a
Yeah, I
mod on
am.
Franklin?
I
Oh,
am.
okay.
I am. So, and I wasn't even talking about you actually.
Yes, you was.
No, I
Don't
wasn't,
gaslight
darling. I
me.
wasn't,
You were
darling. I was
no.
talking
Yes, you
about the
was.
Saint
You're a
Charlie
fucking
girl.
loser.
That's who I was
Yes, you
talking
was.
about. That's who I
Yes, you
was talking
was.
about. I never said
I
your
would.
name. I
So
don't
when
just say people's
you're a
names.
fucking
Okay, are
loser,
you gonna
and
allow
yes,
me
you
to speak?
was.
Yes or
When I
no?
was talking about
Am I gonna be able
about
to speak?
Sa's
Yes or
mom,
no?
when I was talking about no, you already spoke. You said that you didn't say anything, and you was just being a mod over there.
Okay,
You spoke.
so
When I was
I was
talking about
I
Sa's
wasn't able to
mom,
say a
And
and
she
single.
gonna
everybody was
tell
like,
you.
"Oh,
Hold
well,
on,
why would
wait,
you
hold
talk
on.
about Sa?"
Ryder, let her tell you why she's saying that, and then you can respond back to why she's saying it.
Saul was on the panel doing whatever he was doing, talking shit about black women like a fucking like a psychopath, like the DL screamer that he is. And so I brought up the fact of his mama being a not knowing who his father was, the reason and all that other shit. Y'all already know how I fucking do. And this bitch was in the motherfucking comments talking about why would you talk about his mother like that? Why would you didn't say a motherfuck thing the whole time that this nigga was talking so much shit about black women, but the second that I brought up his bald headed, ugly ass fucking mama, now all of a sudden I'm not a girl's girl and she's a pick me. Bitch, fuck you. You're a fucking fake ass bitch. And you're a
Okay, that's
fucking
quite
weird ass
fine.
fucking bitch.
Okay, that's quite fine then. So now I understand what you're talking about. So first of all, I don't really know what was going on before. I literally just got home. Not gonna lie. I've been out all day. It's Memorial Day weekend. I just got something from the Madewell cell. Okay. I just went and picked up a bunch of sushi. Okay. I just got home. I don't listen to everything because I get irritated very easily. So the part that I came in on and that I did hear was you saying, and this is what you said, and this is problematic. And I don't care who said it because I didn't even know that you said it at first. So if you're the one that said it, we can just make it a fact. What I heard somebody say, if this is you who said it, you said something about someone being molested at 14. You said that about a woman being that by a man that is 50 years old, and that's dead wrong to do. And I don't care who says it, that's wrong. I'm not going to throw in somebody who has that done to them when they're 14 years old on a panel to go against anybody, man or woman. That's something that's wrong. So I said what I said. And I said, why would someone say that about somebody else's mom? Why would you say that about a 14-year-old? Why would you think it's a dig? If a 14-year-old is SA'd by a man that's 50 years old, you think that's a dig? That's not a dig, baby. So now what?
So now what is that you're a fucking liar? Because what I was talking about, yes. Because what I was talking about is his pedo ass fucking father. That fucking, I never said that, oh, your mom got molested. You're a
Yeah, you
fucking
did. You said that
liar.
at 14.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Yes, you
no, I
did.
didn't.
And I said,
no,
why
I
are you
didn't.
talking
No,
about
I
a
didn't. I'm not
woman?
gonna let you sit up-
I said, why are
I'm
you
not gonna
talking
let you
about a
sit up
young
here and lie
girl
on my
being
motherfucking-
SA'd?
I'm not gonna
by
sit up
a
here and
man?
lie
That's
on
exactly
lie
what
on
you
my
said you had a
motherfucking
problem
name.
with. So get
Because you
over it.
got caught being
You're
a
right,
victim
let her
of motherfucking Franklin's
respond.
live.
You're weird and you're fake.
You're a
You really
fucking
thought it was a
liar.
dig to talk
You're
about a
a
child
fucking
being
liar.
SA'd
What
by
I
a
said
50-year-old,
was that
a
his
50-year-old
father was
man.
a fucking
You're
pedo
weird.
that was fucking
You're
a
weird.
16-year-old girl.
But guess what?
And
I
you're
have
a
the
fucking
recordings
weird
because I
ass
am a
loser
mom.
ass bitch.
So I have
You
the
were sitting
recordings,
in that
darling, and that
motherfucking
is what
live
you
the
said. You
whole
even
fucking
came up here and
time.
said that
You
I
were
said
sitting.
something about you
You
talking
were
about
sitting
his
in that
mom.
fucking live the
Why were
whole
you talking
time,
about
and
his
all of a
mom?
sudden you were getting sushi, bitch. You commented 692 fucking times in that fucking live talking about you were getting sushi. First of all, you said, "Oh well, I was just moderating." You're not gonna sit up here and try to gaslight me, bitch, because you know
Okay.
exactly what the fuck I said. I never ever in a million fucking years said, "Well, that's why your mother got molested." You're
Yes,
a
you
fake
did.
ass
You
fraud
said just
and a
because
fake
your
ass bitch. And
mom
also
Wait,
too,
was
well, don't Franklin.
SA'd
No,
at
you know
14
what?
years
No,
old by
Franklin's
your
live.
drunk dad who
Franklin's
was
live.
50 years
Franklin's
old.
Wait, hold
live.
on,
That's what
y'all.
you
Tara,
said,
Tara
darling.
trying to talk. Hold on, y'all. Hold
Hold
on.
up,
Tara trying to
y'all.
talk.
Y'all gotta
Hold
watch what
on.
y'all say.
Can't
I'm
say
not.
the M word.
Franklin's live. Oh, all right, my bad. Franklin's lives are on YouTube. So when he posted, I could go ahead and pull the motherfucking receipts. You're a fake ass bitch. And you know I never said no shit like that. What I said was that his dad was a fucking creep in a P30 that was fucking a teenage girl. That's what the
Okay,
fuck
exactly.
I
You
said.
just said
But I never
exactly what I
said
just
I
said.
never said, oh, your mom got MO, whatever,
So
whatever.
I have a
So you could
question.
try to
How come you
play that
said
motherfucker.
when I
You could
first
try
came
to
up
play
here,
that
you said
motherfucking
something about me
narrative
saying
if you
that you're
want
not a
to,
feminist
but
because
it's
you were
never
talking
going to
about another
work. It's
person's
never
mother
going to
when you were
fucking
talking
work.
about another woman. You know that I was responding to you talking about another woman. You said that first when I first came up here, darling. That's what you said. You say,
Say that
oh, and as soon as I say something about his mom, you're like, why are you talking about the mom?
because I don't give a
Exactly.
fuck.
So
I
I
could talk
said what
about
I
his mama
said,
if I want
darling.
to.
Now
I could
you're
talk about his mama if I
backtracking.
want to. We talk about niggas' mamas all motherfucking day
Okay,
long
then
up
do what
here.
you want then. If
Okay
that is
then,
your
bitch, but
standard of
don't sit up
morality,
here and
that's
come up in this
fine. And we see
motherfucking
where
room
you
and act like
stand.
everything is all
If
gravy
that's
and
what you want
wasn't
to do,
I
that's
wasn't
fine.
gonna check you, bitch.
You can
You're
check me all you
fucking,
want
you're
to.
a fucking weak ass bitch. You're gonna talking
Okay,
about some,
okay,
oh, I was
fine.
just getting sushi and I was busy and I'm
I'm
enjoying my
eating some
lazy
edamame
weekend.
right now,
Bitch, you were
actually.
in there, you were motherfucking in there
And what are you gonna
commenting
do
like a
about it?
fucking
And what
mad
are you
woman.
gonna do about
You
it?
were
Do something
sitting here
about it.
talking.
Do something about it. Come do something about it. Y'all do too
You're a
much.
weak
Y'all say the
asshole.
B
You're a
word
weak
too much.
asshole.
What are you going
You're a
to do?
weak asshole.
You're
You're
not
a
gonna
weak
do
asshole,
anything.
and you're a fake ass bitch. And that's what I'm
Okay, I
doing right
am very
now. I'm
fake.
telling you that you're a fake ass bitch.
I'm very fake.
I'm telling you that you're a weird ass bitch.
I'm
I'm
very
telling you
weird.
that you're
I'm
a
very
lame ass
weird.
hoe. There
I'm
it
very
is.
weird and I'm
That's what
very
the fuck
fake.
I did. That's what the fuck I did.
Okay.
Now
And you're
take that
very
and go eat your
ghetto.
motherfucking
And you're
sushi.
very
You're a
ghetto.
stupid ass
You're
bitch.
very ghetto and you don't know how to speak properly.
Sure, I don't give a fuck if I don't know how to speak properly.
Like you
You're
cuss too
fucking
much,
niggas for
girl. Why
Uber
are you
Eats
cussing
on
about
the
the
internet.
sun?
You're fucking for fucking Uber Eats on the internet. Go
I've
about that.
never
How about
fucked. I'm a
that?
virgin,
Go suck
darling. I'm
dick for
literally a
fuck. Go
virgin.
suck dick
Everybody
for a
knows
cash
that.
app. How about that? You're
Again,
fucking niggas on the
I'm a
internet. You
virgin
have
and
an
everybody
internet
knows
fucking
that. So
boyfriend. I'm not gonna sit up here talking about so, well, he's sending me money on the internet. Girl, you're bragging about a man sending you money on the internet. That's the
I
easiest
never bragged
fucking
about
thing to
that. You
do.
have me
You're
confused with
bragging
someone else,
about a
darling.
man sending you money and then got
You
broken up
have
with
me
on the
confused
fucking
with somebody
internet.
else, darling.
Girl,
A man
you're a
has never
fucking
sent me any
loser.
money on the
You're a
internet,
fucking
darling. You
loser.
have me
You're a
confused with
fucking
somebody else,
loser.
darling.
You're a loser. You got
That's fine.
I caught your ass and motherfucking 4K being a weird ass
Thank
bitch, a weird ass
God.
fucking pick me, and I'm calling your ass the fuck
Thank
out.
God. Thank God. What is that gonna get you? Paid?
Anyways, the
Is
reason
it
why
gonna get
men
you
are
a normal
fucking
blood
competing
pressure?
with women,
Is it gonna get you a smaller
the
waist?
reason
Is it
why
gonna make
men
sure
are
that you don't unalive from one of the top 5 cases of mortality in the United States? No. So keep talking about me. You need
it'll
to
keep
focus
me
on
from getting
yourself,
a
darling.
fucking it'll keep me from being a fucking
I can buy
loser
your
ass
life.
pick
I
me
can buy your life.
validation seeking
I
ass
can buy
bitch
your
on
life,
the
and I'm
internet
way
though.
younger than you, and
It'll
you're
keep me
angry.
from being a validation seeking ass, and you're younger than me and you're fucking stupid as fuck. Imagine
Thank
being this
God.
fucking
Thank
when I was
God.
your fucking age,
Thank
when I was
God,
your
but I
fucking
have an
age,
Ivy
I
League
was
degree.
never this
Thank
fucking
God,
dumb.
but I have an
When I
Ivy
was your
League
you know what it
master's
is?
degree.
You know
I'm
what it
dumber than
is?
you,
But
but I have an
you're
Ivy
very
League master's
yes, bitch.
degree.
You are fucking.
All
I
right.
wouldn't give a
Okay,
fuck
that's
if you
fine.
had 6 fucking master's degree. But you know what? When I was your age, you wouldn't catch me dead begging for fucking validation from niggas on the internet. And that's how I know
Who was
that you're
that?
a lame ass
So
loser
because I
ass
have
bitch
my own
on real life.
opinion, that
That's
means
how I
I'm
know
begging
that
for
you're a lame ass
validation.
loser ass
That makes
bitch on
zero
real life.
sense.
That's how I know that you're a lame ass loser ass bitch in real life. Go touch some grass. Young ass bitch, you're so fucking young. Then stop fucking begging for attention from niggas on the internet, weak ass bitch. When I was your age, I was outside.
I've never begged for
I was getting
attention.
validation from niggas in
Okay.
real
When
life.
you were
I
my
was
age,
getting
you
some
didn't have a
validation
master's
from niggas
degree
in
from an
real
Ivy League
life.
institution. So I don't care what you were doing. You were touching grass. Congratulations. When you were my age, you didn't own a property. You weren't moving shit.
Girl,
You're not
please.
working for
Girl,
the
please.
top financial
Girl,
institutions
please.
in the country. I
Either
don't
way,
care what
I
you were
wouldn't give a
doing.
fuck what
Thank
you're
God
doing. You're
you were
still a
outside
lame ass
shaking
bitch.
ass and touching
You're
grass.
still a lame
And I'm
ass
doing
bitch.
way better than you
And
are
you're begging for
at my
niggas
little
on the internet.
age.
You're
So
begging
you're
for
not judging
attention from
me.
niggas on the
You will
internet.
never be the judge
And
of
not
me.
only that,
You don't
you're
run
begging for
anything in
attention. You're
society.
getting
I have way
attention
more
from
motion in
niggas
you
on the
than
internet
you.
that
I have
are
way more
fucking
motion than you. So just calm
bums. You're
down.
begging for validation from
I'm
niggas on
not
the
begging for
internet that literally
validation. Did
work
I
at
ever ask anyone
Amazon.
for validation?
Yes. How about that? How about
Okay, so
that?
who did I ask for validation?
Girl, fuck you. I said what
Yeah,
the fuck I
because
said.
you wanted to make a
I
comment
said
about
what
a
the fuck I
14-year-old
said.
girl, and you did say the number 14
You can
being
run with that
S8 and
narrative if
having
you
a
want to.
child. I'm begging for validation. How about that's a wrong thing to say? How about children being S8 is wrong? How about that?
Girl,
Stop with
fuck
the
you.
delusions
You
here.
could
You're
you could try to
delusional.
run with that
You're wrong,
narrative
and I
if you
stand on
want
it.
to.
Sorry.
You could try to run with that narrative if you want to, but I'm gonna tell you this: bitches on the internet that seeking validation can never try to check me on morality. You're a
That's quite
fucking weird
fine.
ass bitch.
That's
You're
quite
a
fine if you
fucking
think
weird ass
that.
bitch.
That's quite
You're a
fine if you
weird ass
think
bitch,
that.
and you're not sit-
And
and
I'm
you're
not
gonna
seeking
sit up here
validation
and
from
pretend
you
like
because who are
you're
you?
seeking
I
validation
can say
from
whatever
niggas
I
on
want
the
to say.
internet.
I don't fit into
And I
any
can say whatever
ideology.
the
I have
fuck I
my
want
own
to say
opinion.
to.
Guess
And
what?
I can say whatever
I
the
believe
fuck
in
I want to
diversity
say
of
to.
thought. Guess what? Nobody runs me. Nobody checks me. Nobody can check me. Literally. Not even my parents. You will have to be very powerful in the real world for
Oh
to check
God.
me. And you're not.
You're
You're
a
not,
fucking
darling.
airhead.
Who are you?
You're a
Like, I
fucking
don't know who
airhead.
you are.
You're a fucking airhead.
You
That's
just
what
sound like
that's what
somebody that
I'm
cusses
the
all the
bitch that's
time.
telling
Mind you,
you
I haven't said a
that
single
you're a
cuss word.
fucking airhead.
You went off crazy calling me bitch, 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 all of this and all of that. All because I said to you that it's wrong to make a point out of a
You
child
didn't
being
say that.
S8.
First of all, you
That's
didn't say
wrong. Why
that.
would we talk about a
You
little
didn't
girl
say
being
that.
S8?
You didn't
That's
say
not a
that. You're
dig. That's
literally
weird.
lying.
That's just weird.
You're lying.
It's really
You're
weird.
lying. You're
Sorry,
lying.
this is so
You're
weird.
lying.
And I love to
You're a
protect
fucking
children,
liar.
and I love to protect
You're
young
a liar.
girls. So
You're a
sorry,
liar.
and I can be
You're
a
a
fake
fucking
B-word for
liar.
that
You
if you
could
want
get
me
up here
to.
and lie because I caught your
Sorry.
fucking ass being a weird ass bitch, but I don't give a fuck.
Fuck
At
you.
the end of the day, I don't give a fuck. Listen
You're
to me.
very
At the
angry.
end of the day,
All I
I
have to
don't give
say
a
is may the
fuck.
Lord
I don't give
bless
a
you and
fuck.
keep
I don't
you
give a fuck. I don't care, bitch.
and give
At
you
the end of the
peace.
day,
May the
between
Lord
me
give you
and you,
peace.
you can lie to these people if you want to, but I know what the fuck it is. And every time I see you, every time I hear your fucking voice, I'm always gonna clock how you were a fake ass fucking bitch,
And
fucking
who
pandering for niggas in the
cares?
internet.
You're not a
Pandering for
president.
niggas on the
You're not a
internet. So you
mayor.
could get
You're
up
not
here
a
and lie
senator.
if
You
you
can't
want
clock
to. You could get
anything.
up here and
Like,
try
you
to
have to
lie if you
understand
want
the
to,
people that I'm
but you
around
will
in real
always be
life,
a weak
and they
ass
can't even
bitch on
clock
the
me. You
motherfucking
can't clock
comment
anything.
section
You're just
trying
somebody
to
that is
beg for
cussing on the internet.
validation from
Who
niggas on
are
the
you?
internet. Oh my gosh,
Who
guys, yeah,
are
she's
you?
really is a
You
pick.
have
Y'all need to cool down. I'm overwhelmed. Overwhelmed. Take a lap. Take a lap.
I'm like, damn, how I get dry?
And I just push the button.
I was like, damn. Oh, child. Eh, that was a lot. That being in a community center
I just
sometimes
want
can be problematic.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
I
I'm
just wanted to
sorry,
say,
Sarah.
I just want to say, East, like, I don't know, she like laughing in the comments, and like we serious about this shit, so you have to be, and she is like gaslighting, and there is no way to reference that someone is a P3DO without referencing the age of the person they're messing with, which would validate that they're a P3DO. So right, they go together, right? There's no way to be like you're a P3DO if there's not a young person involved, right? So that has to
Hmm.
go. But just be careful about engaging because, like I said, she laughing like this shit ain't serious to her. It's not gonna be serious until something happens to her or what have you. So sometimes life got to teach them lessons. We're not teaching people nothing who don't take this shit serious. They think
I
talking, like you said, when you notice that people don't check nobody like Saul, but they want to pick with women or what have you, you already know that they're not even angry at someone being disrespectful to women. That don't get them going. What get them going is fucking with people who take this shit serious. So just be careful of that.
thank you, Dark Horse. I appreciate that. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't understand the fucking weirdness because I've seen her on this side of TikTok in y'all lives like so much. I see her over here all the time. And first to watch her sit up here in the comments like, oh my gosh, she's a pick me. I can't believe she said that. That's not wrong. Oh my gosh, she's cussing. I can't like y'all all know how much I fucking cuss. Y'all already know. And y'all already know that if I'm gonna every time I see Saw, I'ma jump on that motherfucking nigga neck. And for you to sit up here and get on this live and say you were laughing at a 14-year-old girl, first of all, I'm not going to defend myself on that. I'm just gonna let the people that know me check that shit for me. Cause anybody that knows me, anybody that's followed me on this app knows that I would never do no weird shit like that. And the fact that you're trying to even paint that narrative in the first place, so you can not get called out for being a weird ass fucking virtual dick sucker on the internet is crazy.
That's like, yeah. It once you start back going into certain spaces and mingling with people, it's like you got to have a balance because at the end of the day, you know, it's easy for people to say certain things, and I noticed that we always lose the plot in having addressing what we need to address because I understand exactly what you're saying. Like it got lost. Like instead of us addressing that this man is supporting his father, who is a man who was messing with a child, and then blamed the child for him not being there. Instead of us talking about how men do that on so many levels, like a lot of these men, and we could talk about more things, we end up talking about like it's a back and forth between women, and that just goes to the issues of you know being in this society. Like women are going to always have to take the brunt of everything. Men are going to be able to say and do deplorable things. Men do it, and women are going to do it too. Like Terry, you might should have had the prompt up about blaming women, because like women and girls are gonna always take the gonna have to take the responsibility, or going to have to take the brunt of yes, of what behaviors men have, because the bypass that this man is obsessed with his father who committed the crime against his mother and don't give her no grace is a diabolical point to miss. But you gotta be mindful when you interact on people. How you deal with it, because yeah, you don't ever want to be in a situation where they think that they got you like pent up. No, you fucking weird for wanting to support a man, or why do you give a damn if I'm talking about a man and his bullshit? Who gives a damn? Fuck them. Anybody got no sympathy for these motherfuckers? But yeah, it get real tricky. So keep in mind, just don't defend yourself, especially coming from that space.
Yeah, it was an indirect way of supporting of a man, like you just said. Like, I'm going to say that, oh, you was attacking this girl, but all you was doing is caping for a man. You just try to find another way to attack a woman or what have you so you can get your cookie from the niggas. I'm going to twist what she said. How dare you attack this girl? You ain't worried about that. You ain't worried about saw people. You don't give a fuck. You wanted to fuck with another woman. Just say that. Just say that shit. And I ain't had no, what do you call it? I ain't had no energy since I heard the word Remy drop. That shit was over for me, so I can't believe you engaging with that. East, listen, just say Remy and then shut up. The whole internet knows. The whole internet knows. You're like, yeah, you should probably stop talking now. But that's what I would say. Like, ma'am, I can't engage with you. Remy, come on now. I can't. Come on now. No, it's a fuck no. But that's just me being petty. I want to mute.
What's up,
But
Meow? What's up, Meow? What you want to say about the prompt?
mute me, Tara, please.
I don't know. I agree with this prompt. At the end of the day, I think that when it comes to holding accountability, I think it is easier to push it onto somebody else than rather, put it on yourself. And I see this a lot. Whether it is blaming people for not being able to find a wife or blaming people for not being able to make money. It's just something that happens a lot, especially when, BOK men do stuff like that. And I can land my plane there.
Anybody else want to respond to the prompt since we switched it?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Eve. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you switched over to this prompt, because I do want to go back, talk about how instead of us blaming, for example, Shaw, his father was a grown man. And like I said in What You Call His Live before, his father was a grown man having a sexual relationship with a 16-year-old girl. And for him to say that his mother was a problem, even though she was a child herself, raising a child by herself, and this man lived down the street, he still chooses to believe that had he had a literal pedo in his life would have been better. So it goes to show you that a man, and this is why there was a trend going around where men were, there was a dude that came up on the internet. It was like, guys, why don't you reach out to go get your father's side of the story? And it went super viral. It went viral. I mean, there had to be at least 10,000 comments in that comment section. But when I tell you that there was not one stitch to that video, not one of those dudes that were like, yeah, da, 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 da. That's because those dudes probably did reach out to their fathers, and their fathers was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I didn't give a fuck. But they're still going to go back into that same comment section and be like, I still understand why he left. Now I understand why my father abandoned me. You understand why your father abandoned you? And to go back, and to go back to Saul's point, Saul's father lived 3 houses down from his teenage pregnant mother. 3 houses down.
It was 2 houses down.
Oh my God. Lord have mercy. Saul's father lived 2 houses down while his pregnant teenage mother had his child, and sat there and watched that girl raise that child by herself with the help of his elderly elderly great aunt and did absolutely nothing, and then had the nerve to reach out to didn't have the nerve to go on the internet and say, I want to get her arrested because she kidnapped me. That's crazy.
It's diabolical. It's something, and like when we talk about this, like it goes back to them, like men not being able to, no, men not having the identity. Because at first I was about to say like not have the resources, but it doesn't matter because even men with the resources who can fit this idea of what hegemonic masculinity is, they still blame women. Like the patriarchy is about blaming women. It's about holding women to a certain standard, and that's because it's insecurity in needing to subjugate women. Men who want to subjugate women are insecure, and that insecurity doesn't give them any room to be self-aware. It doesn't give them any room to challenge some of their behaviors. It gives them a script. It gives them a rule book, and they have to follow it. And if they can't follow it, then they can blame the women. Women are supposed to take on the responsibility. Women are supposed to be nurturing, and nurturers are typically going to be responsible for things, responsible for the care. So if a man has a wounded ankle, she's supposed to ice it. But if he have a wounded ego, she's supposed to ice that too. She's supposed to protect that. So if there's a man, and I'm gonna always bring it back to incarceration because I think, because in my opinion, incarcerated men show what society does constantly, but it's harder to see in the greater society. But the prison example is so magnified that you get to see what the patriarchy and what it looks like. You have men who are in bondage, they'll say, um, trying to run stuff and control and dominate women, whether it's their family or romantic partners, in any way that they can through the motherfucking phone. And that is because they're insecure and they're so fragile that they have to find ways to get power. They get excited off of little bitty ways to get power. Being able to harass the woman that they're with is giving them some powers. Being able to manipulate their mama into paying for something or doing something is a form of having control and power. Being able to get women to do work with, getting lawyers, doing this and doing that is power because they're lying. They're gonna tell people that they're innocent and make them put in all these resources, and that's a thrill out of that. Being able to manipulate a female staff or a woman staff member is all about them having some type of power. Even if it's a moment where they, just one small moment where they get somebody to tell them something that they probably shouldn't have told them. They get power out of having these um little moments of control. And that control can simply be, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for something that a woman did. My baby mama told on me. My mama didn't raise me right. She ran my father off, whatever it is, right? It could be a number of things, but the point is the insecurity is what pushes them to blaming. To make a long story short, that's what I think. It's the insecurity.
I'm still trying to figure out how y'all found out this stuff about Saul.
He put it on the internet.
Really?
Yeah, he did like a 3 video documentary series where he called his aunt and essentially told the story. But that nigga delusional. He also started a petition. He want women to go to jail. He wanted to be a law that women go to jail for kidnapping kids because his daddy cried about his mama stealing him away, and he won't believe that story so bad. He can't admit that he a throwaway.
No, right ahead.
And his dad, and real quick, and his dad knowing that he abandoned him, and because it's fucked up. Don't get it twisted. Like I don't give a fuck, but let's take a moment, and it's gonna be easy because we all most of us up here are empathetic or empathic, whatever. But imagine a child being abandoned by a parent, growing up and asking that parent, like desperately wanting an answer, and that parent look at that child who's crying and sad and lie to villainize the parent that stayed, all to be able to take advantage of of their child, grown or not, to take advantage of their child, love for them, admiration for them, emptiness for them, whatever you want to call it, will look that child in the face and blatantly lie to absolve themselves of responsibility. You know how sick a motherfucker got to be to do that? You know how sick this man got to be to know that he had granddaughters he wasn't around because he didn't want to be a part of his son's life, and to look at his son and be like, um, um, it was your mama, and start rubbing his eyes and screaming like on that fucking Ayana Fix My Life clip. Like, you know how diabolical that is? You can't make this shit up. The men do not have any fucking humanity to do some shit like that. That man is soulless. Soulless. But I say you get what you deserve. But I'm just thinking, like, on the surface of it, that shit is fucked up. That shit crazy.
Yeah, but not only that, but your mother was there through everything. Cause that man wasn't. Your mother was there for everything. Your aunt was there for everything. And through all that shit they done put up with you for, you like, damn, but my daddy. But what about my daddy? Like, you ready to throw these women away who fucking raised you just so you can believe this nigga's story.
Yeah, and I was thinking about the aunt. The aunt was already, they said that she was already, he said, I think she was already like very much up in age already when he was born. And not only is she taking care of you, she was also taking care of your mama, who was not even her child. She was taking care of a whole another person's child. But yet you have the nerve to put her on the internet and then put in subtitles, more lies, more lies, more lies. That's insane. You're saying that your aunt, you're saying that your aunt was lying and somehow kidnapped you and took and ran and took you away when you got the story from your father in the first place, and he said, "Oh yeah, I saw your mama walking down the street, and then I asked her what happened to the baby, and she just walked away." And then you did what? And then what? Like, that's where you got that's the end of the story? That was it?
And this idea of trying to make little girls even, because it's already the women, but to try to paint little girls as being hot. So she's a teenager, and you saying, and you want us to believe that your father didn't want to take a chance of claiming a baby that wasn't his from a teenager. You're gonna paint a kid to be so loose. That in itself shows you how the community blames girls and women to make it seem like even a child is responsible for something that happened to her. Like, it's even little black girls have to take responsibility for things that the community, how the community fails them, or the things the community does to them. That's got to be next level diabolics. I don't know if that's a word, but fuck it. That
Diabolical?
shit.
Yeah.
I was saying diabolics. I was trying to make something else, but that's diabolic. 101.
But what really gets me is that he's saying that she was quote unquote this bad mother from what y'all are saying, but how can you expect a child to take care of a child and expect it to come out well? That's why children shouldn't have children in the first place.
Right.
Because these are
And
the same people who are saying that, oh, women should have children at a young age, but then they go and get mad at women for not being able to take care of children because they're children.
I mean, the main thing here is to remember that his father was a grown ass man.
yeah,
His father was a
exactly.
grown ass man. She was a teenage girl. And that nigga skipped town so he wouldn't go to jail. Like, ain't nobody keep no baby from you. Your daddy ain't want to go to jail. That's what the fuck was going on. And the crazy part is, his father didn't come find him. Is that nigga, we 50 now? Ain't like his father
Mm-hmm.
found him. That nigga took a DNA test, sat there and waited in the queue until his brother took the damn DNA and found him.
Well, that I mean, Saw is 40 years old, so that means
He
that
close to the
his
50.
He
he,
was born in
he,
77. He's close to 50.
He was born in 77.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
damn,
Damn.
that man is
Yeah.
50. So that man is 50
Damn
years
near
old.
50, yeah.
50 years old. Your mama ain't nothing but 14, 15 years older than you. And you get to look at this man and be like, "Oh yeah, she took me away from him. She did this." That's crazy. That's literally insane. And another thing is because of your father's actions, because he was a a predator. Can I say predator? Yeah.
Yes.
Mm,
Yeah. No. Well,
yeah.
No.
because he was a chomo, because your father was a chomo and abandoned you, now you have to go and spread that hatred of black women across the motherfucking the lands of TikTok, across the world. Black women have to
I know
suffer
other
because of your
platforms with that
trauma.
bullshit.
Mm-mm.
Well,
He across the world. Go
But
I
ahead.
I
wanted to say,
remember seeing a
oh, go
video
ahead.
of him at some military function running in the YT people face though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we little raccoons. But I wanted to say that's the patriarchy at work, right? And the reason I'm saying the prompt and this example we're given is the patriarchy at work is if everyone is conditioned, men and women are conditioned that men are the ones with value and they're the prize. It's a social construct that's not backed by action or facts. So when we back it up with our actions and our facts and we do the thing, it's not doing anything because it's a distorted worldview because they place value on men without them having to do anything to earn it. There's no facts. You just got to be born a man. So there's the value. So the my dad thing, it's not even I'm running to my dad expecting him to do shit. Men aren't expected to do shit. They're given shit just for being a man, but he's not like I'm going to my dad so my dad can do X, Y, and Z. He's not about to get no value out of his dad even at this age. There's nothing there to get because it's just a social construct. I'm running after this prize. This prize has zero value. You have a woman and a mother, actually blood, sweat, and tears pouring in, zero value. That's how I know that your mind got to be super fucked that you can disregard actual labor being done for you, actual love, actual sacrifice. Fuck all that. I'm looking for an image. That's how I say y'all empty as shit. You gotta be an empty motherfucker to disregard someone going day in and day out, going hard for your ass. Fuck that, that don't matter. I just want the image. You an empty
I want
motherfucker.
I want the mama story. I ain't gonna lie. Because even the auntie problematic, because he wasn't skipping town because of the police. Because the police could have got called as soon as they sat down and talked about him being a daddy. That's when the police should have got called. But girls are not protected. She was also being accused by the auntie of being hot in the pants. And
Fast.
although on the video that we saw, she was kind of dismissive of him because she didn't give a damn, but that's what a lot of male center women do. Of course, by now she don't give a damn. Like she don't got no time for them emotions. He's supposed to be a man, and it's too this shit. He need to get over it. But if you think back, the reason why he had this disdain for his mom is because he grew up in a household with a woman who called her hot in the pants, probably called her all kind of names, said she's stupid. You got me raped. I done had to fucking take you, now I gotta take him. You lying. She probably accused her of lying because liking boys and y'all know the story. The story is age old. Age old. I don't want to get into it, but there's a lot of women whose children have came to them and told them that the man that they're with touched them, and they don't want to believe it. So how do you think that his auntie responded to this young girl who might have liked the boy in the neighborhood? So she already was saying you hot, you trying to be grown. So when this grown man did do something to her, of course she got to take responsibility for that. Because if she didn't, how dare she like a boy her age? Because she shouldn't have been being hot. Because once you be hot, then now it opens up the door for grown ass men to come. That's the message. So he was
Mhm.
spoon fed negative things about his mom too, by a male centered woman that he gets to attack when it's convenient. But he admires women just like his auntie. He sit with them on panels every day. He just didn't like that she didn't coddle him. Cause coddling men don't coddle other men. And male centered women ain't gonna coddle you either, especially if you trying to hold them accountable to something. So it's a lot of moving parts in my opinion. I just want to point that out too.
Yeah, I definitely want the mama side of the story. Because y'all know how men tell stories, and y'all know how, yeah, they get even not even just him, but there's so many dudes on this app that get up on here and be, they will talk about single mothers all day long, and then come to find out that they came from a single mother, and then they start talking about their own mamas. And you know what I mean, like you hear this story, but then when you get deeper into it, they was running the streets, joining all type of um flag cut flag groups, you know what I mean, stealing, doing all type of crazy stuff. And I there's a like it's never enough. Like, you could literally be a teenage mother impregnated by a grown man, and giving that child instead of giving that child away, you say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take care of this child. I'm gonna at least try my best, even though you are a child raising a child. And that's what we never child raising a child. And that's what we never like. It's like, that's what's really important. She was a child raising another child. That means that when she most likely couldn't finish school, and then wanted to go to school to for cosmetology or whatever, and obviously she never finished. But that does show you right then and there she never finished. But that does show you right then and there she did want better. She still tried to. She still, even if she had to depend on her aunt to raise her, she still stuck around and raised him. But women don't get that. Women get all of the blame, all of the issues, but your father gets to live two doors down, two houses down. That's your father gets to live two houses down and abandon you, and they still get grace, and you still get to blame the mama.
No, also don't forget all this shit he said about women being on welfare and all that stuff. And then in the video, he talked about how his mother never even got child support from that man. That
Mm,
man went off and lived. That
mm,
man went
mm.
off and lived his fucking life.
Yep. And you know what I noticed too is that a lot of I've seen dudes where their fathers have abandoned them, and then later on in life they develop relationships 25, 30 years later with their fathers, and then their fathers are living good lives. Their fathers got cars, they got houses, they got all of these things. Their fathers got to do have all of these things, and the reason why is because he abandoned you. He got to conserve all of his resources, all of his money, because he wasn't there to take care of you. So now, 20, 30 years later, he does have a house. He is able to own a home. He is able to purchase a car. He is able to take care of himself because he didn't have to waste any of his money taking care of you.
And that's the crazy part. He's sitting up in that bed crying like where my daddy at. His daddy on the other side of town with his face in some coochie. Now he with his mom, and it's fucking crazy. But like that's how it's not. It's like literally that's where it comes down to everything. Just the conversation we was having earlier about how like black men essentially like they blame black women for shit that the system do to them, right? Like it is mind boggling to me that black men instead of fighting against the prison industrial complex, they want to blame single mothers for the prison industrial complex. They don't want to talk about the fact that the fathers left. They don't want to talk about there was predators in the community. They don't want to talk about the candy that was sold and all the crimes that committed, motherfuckers being traumatized because of the pew pew violence or whatever. Y'all, It's the mama fault. Was she wearing some other bullshit? It's always something that a woman did. These motherfuckers act like they allergic to accountability.
They are allergic to it. I mean, you talking about acting? Them motherfuckers ain't acting. They unalive serious. Um, it's it's going to happen because it's the whole MO of being a man who believes that they have inherent rights to subjugate women. So of course that like I respect that if you listen to them, they will justify what happened. You know how many black men I've heard justify why we were enslaved? They said, of course, that's what anybody would do. Anybody would look out for their race. Anybody would want to get ahead. Anybody will do that. They don't have any issue with YT men raping and pillaging continent to continent, country to country, town to town, village to village. They don't have a problem with it. They think them motherfuckers they look up to them the way they look up to Pablo Escobar. We need to make a motherfucking Mount Rushmore of motherfucking men that these men love. It'll be Columbus, it'll be Pablo Escobar, and whoever the mother niggas is. They love motherfuckers who
Yahweh. You got to put
conquer.
Yahweh up here.
Yahweh. They love motherfuckers who conquer and destroy. The reason why God is painted to be this person they painted to be, they love the wrath of God. They booty start leaking. They wet up a motherfucking seat when they think about how powerful how all powerful this man is, who can unalive and flood and use fire and brimstone to get motherfuckers to obey. They love that. They love the pillaging. They love the conquest. The only thing they didn't like was being subjugated for those 400 years. They was wondering. They was trying their hardest to convince Master that I could do what you do if you let me, and it won't be hurting you. The whole thing that they talk about with Nat Turner was a perfect example. That was a perfect example of what black men wanted in those times. It was not liberation. Them motherfuckers wanted to be just like the YT man.
Yep.
That was it.
Frederick Douglass talks about a lot how when he first ran away up to the north, that he couldn't tell nobody that he was a runaway slave. Frederick Douglass talked about how because a lot of the slave catchers were other black men,
There
and
you
that's
go.
crazy.
There you
That
go.
that's insane, and that's why when I don't know who that girl I don't know who it was, but when that girl said if slavery only happened to black women, black men would have been cool with it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They only loyal to power and control. They're not loyal to the race. They ain't loyal to the cause. They ain't loyal to their family. None of that. That's the only thing you can guarantee some loyalty out of. If you want to see them dance, you want to make a move, that's what it is. Give them the hope that there's power and control. You ain't even got to actually give it to them. You can talk
Mm-hmm.
to them. You can sell it. You can sell it. It's so sad.
Yep, and that's why they refuse to let go of the patriarchy. They refuse to let go. When I was on goddamn uh what's his name, the Flashy. What brought me up on that panel in the first place was because this boy was had the nerve to sit up there and brag on the patriarchy, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
you're bragging on a patriarchy that is you're literally at the bottom of. You're
Mm-hmm.
literally at the bottom of that patriarchy, getting stepped on by every other man in that pyramid, in that hierarchy, and you got the nerve to brag on a patriarchy that oppresses you, brag on the same and that's because the reason why they won't let go of the patriarchy is because they want a turn.
Yep. I say that
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
You preach to the choir, baby. We say that all. That's exactly what it is.
They just want to turn. They want to turn. They want to be the ones to hold the whip.
And we've been lied to. Go ahead, Dark Horse. I know you're trying to say something. 'Cause I was gonna
No,
say it.
I already said it. I just didn't go back on mute, babe.
Oh, and they it's so obvious to me, but we've been lied to. That's what I'm saying. Like when they talk about what's the Willie Lynch letter, if you don't listen to the way they talk about the Willie Lynch letter, and then you don't wait and it don't a light bulb don't go off in your head, then you got some unpacking to do. Listen to the Willie Lynch letter and listen to them talk about it and tell me, do you think I'm stupid or do you think I'm dumb? You think I'm Boo Boo the Fool? Y'all motherfuckers are blaming us in the Willie Lynch letter. They're saying it's black women's fault. And it tells you that even in those times, I don't care if it was 100 years after, even in those times, the consensus with the men, whether they said it outright or not, and they will never admit it, those men were not feeling empathy for their women. They only felt like as men, they shouldn't have been subjugated. That's not fair that they were subjugated in the manner that they were. To where you can come invade take my woman. I'm not saying I can have your woman, good sir, but I'm just saying you being able to come do this to me, I don't like that. This she my property. Damn, I don't even get no property that I can have. But they not mad about them doing it. They get it. They would do it too. They would do it too. If back then instead of them signing the Emancipation Proclamation, they said, look, we gonna give y'all the 40 acres and a mule, and you can work your way up. And then they started subjugating other men and women. Like let's say they started saying, "Hey, we're gonna bring in Asian folks to come over, take over. We're gonna cotton ain't keen no more, but we're gonna start doing rice or whatever." I don't know. I'm just making up something, right? Whatever. Those black men would have jumped on board. They would have walked hand in hand, uh, finger in ass to finger in ass with them to subjugate, and they wouldn't have gave a fuck about the women. They also would be terrorizing the Asian men and their women too. They would have jumped on board immediately. I guarantee it. We've been lied to make it seem like they're under attack. They didn't care about the attack. They just didn't want to be subjugated in the way that they were. They didn't have to be like the white men. They could have been just a slaver. They just didn't want to be enslaved themselves. That's what it boiled down to. And that's why the women ended up staying in servitude and the men were okay with it. Think about it. The women stayed in servitude and the men was letting them come home and knocking their heads between the stove and the motherfucking refrigerator.
If they had a refrigerator.
I know.
So you know they couldn't afford one. They so I oh damn you was cooking so good I was gonna make a point. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. And that's another thing too, is that's why I'll be like when they be like, oh, well, the feminism destroyed the black community. Whenever I'm glad you brought up the Willie Lynch letter, because the reason why they always say that is because black women and white women in the 1920s came together to basically protest for their right to vote. But the thing is, 100 years before that, black men had the right to vote for 100 years before black women. 100
Wow.
fucking years they got the vote. 100 years before black women or white women, they got a chance to vote before we did. And and the reason why they say that, the reason why they are so anti feminism and stuff like that, is because black women final feminism and stuff like that is because black women finally realized, I think that in that moment in the 1920s, black women in that time realize these men are never going to fight for our right to vote. That once black men got the right to vote, instead of saying, okay, well now black women need we need to bring our sisters in and black women up and lift them up so they can have the right to vote too, they decided to instead run for Congress, run for the House of Representatives, and try to marry white women.
There you
That was
go.
the
I only
Mm-hmm.
came off of mute to say that they were fighting for something. All right, they were
mm-hmm,
Yep.
fighting for them bunnies. That's what they
mm-hmm.
Yep.
wanted. Hmm.
Yep. Real bad.
So so whenever they be like, oh well, feminism destroyed the black community because y'all was saying I don't need no man. Well, damn, did
We
they?
did,
Yeah.
did I mean, what the fuck was you doing? And hell, we couldn't need you. You wanted to be with somebody else. You've been thinking since 1822 about what it'd be like to be with a YT woman. So yeah, hell, we don't need you because y'all don't want to be with us. You blaming us. They literally are blaming women, literally in real time, blaming women, black women, literally in real time, blaming women, black women for being beaten because of racism. That's so
Mm-hmm.
diabolical. Y'all don't understand. That is crazy work
Yeah,
to be doing it.
when Issue what up Frederick Douglass, I thought she was gonna talk about how he did his wife for that YT woman.
Girl,
And it's an
I
interesting
forgot
topic
about. Oh, Lord.
because that's an
I
interesting.
thought,
It's like all of these men we learn that oh they're supposed to be the fucking hero. You go listen to their stories. They treated their wives like shit. They had mistresses. They was beating on them women. You be like, what the fuck? Hold on a second. Hold on now.
It was, you
mm-hmm,
know how disappointed. I'm gonna tell y'all, I was real disappointed when I learned that Frederick Douglass refused to teach his black wife how to read and write, and then when she passed away, he went and married a white woman. But you want to know something that really, really, really is crazy? Y'all ever heard the story of Henry Box? It was a black man
mm-mm,
who Henry Box. I'm gonna go look up his. I think it's Henry Box something. I don't remember. Yeah, it was a black man who shipped himself. Y'all know that the white abolitionist was ready to make him the face of like the black face of abolitionism, to say like, look at this black man spent 3 4 days in a 3 4 days in a box to get to freedom. They were ready to help him, and then they gave him the opportunity to buy his wife and his
mm-hmm,
child's freedom. Wife and his
mm-hmm.
child's freedom, and he refused.
Yep.
Go look it up. He
Mm-hmm.
refused to, and that's what made white abolitionists turn their back on him. And they was like, no, because that man got freedom, and when YT people gave him the opportunity to say, you know what, we're gonna buy your wife and your daughter, we're gonna buy their freedom, he didn't want to. I'm gonna go look it up. Hold on.
He said, "Hell no, we won't go." He said, "Fuck that."
Who was he
He said, "I shit
escaping?
myself to get away from her,
Mm-hmm.
the blacks. I just want to be amongst the whites." That's why when she said Franklin Douglas was talking about how some of the black men would tell, I thought she was gonna get to that point too, because I'm like, who gives a damn? That man wanted to be with a YT woman so bad, he would have sold them back
Listen,
into
listen.
slavery.
When I tell y'all, don't listen to what they say. I only care about what you do. I don't give a fuck what you say. I don't give a fuck what you say. Period. Forever. That's forever, and that's on forever. All I give a fuck about is what you do. I don't care what they did in history, speech they wrote, what book they wrote. What the fuck did you do though?
Nothing.
You know the game.
Not
I know
a
y'all know the game. That's what the game is. What the fuck you do though?
not a damn thing. And the sooner we recognize that, the better. The
Don't
better.
listen. It don't matter what you say. Your goddamn actions can line up with your words. And you can do the right thing. I still don't need to hear you talk. Just do it. Shut the fuck up.
Hey, Mari.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Diabolical. The diabolics. I just can't get past I can't get past having these conversations now and just knowing how the state of delusion I was in by buying into what this pro black agenda is, and now recognizing that the pro black agenda is what up? Hey double, hey Mari, hey y'all. I'm sorry, I ain't been looking at my phone. Hey Jayla.
Oh, it's Brown. I was saying trying to figure out what that man name.
Henry Box Brown refused to purchase his wife and children back from their slave owner even after escaping slavery himself. The decision was met with criticism from the abolitionists as it seemed to contradict his own fight for freedom.
That shit made me burp. That gave me indigestion.
That shit crazy.
That shit stress you out.
I'm gonna go see
That
if
shit stress you out.
I'm gonna
He
go see if I
want her
can
to
find
get out the easy way. He like nah to get out in the box. That's fucked up. These niggas ain't shit. But let me say this real quick, cause I want shit on some people. Cat Williams after he made that special talking about black women got us out of slavery by basically allowing the getting raped by a YT man. Fuck that nigga. And Sinners was fucking trash. Let me just say that. I don't give a fuck. No, fuck y'all. I'ma say that shit.
No.
No, fuck that.
Uh-uh.
No, cause
You've
motherfuckers
gone
acting
too
like
far.
no, fuck that. Niggas acting like, oh, you know, sinners, blah blah blah. Oh no, fuck y'all. Like no, where
Hold on.
no, fuck that. Why all the main men got women? Y'all just want these women to get fucked in the movie? Fuck y'all, no,
No.
You
That's
no,
the
only
fuck that,
point.
fuck that,
all
no,
the women died.
yeah,
No,
All the
y'all,
witches
that's the
died.
point. That's
not the YT woman. The YT woman live, but
He got to
she
live
got to be
forever.
a vamp.
yeah,
The room got to live forever.
that's
Look
gonna
at
be my
the
next
sheriff.
No,
song. My next
Big,
song gonna be Sinners was trash.
no, Tara.
I don't care about none of y'all went to see that shit 4 times. No, because if you can't tell me tell me 5 movies that came out by black women in the last 24 months, don't tell me about no motherfucking Sinners.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
know nothing. I don't know near movie.
Nope, nope. But y'all gonna go see that bullshit for 4 times because that nigga put some music in the fucking movie. All right, I
The
see how
beat was
y'all.
good.
That's fucking crazy.
that
The
was a
beat
good
is
violin
definitely
now.
wild. That shit
But
wild.
Not
he
no,
said,
hold on. Let me validate myself real quick. Cause no, you absolutely right. But that's the point. That's why I'm saying the shit good. I ain't seen it again yet. But let me tell you why I'm saying this. That's why it's good. Because I told y'all when I saw it the first time that I like because it's really some deep messages, but nobody will let me talk about it because I be spoiling shit. But the way we make it okay and we make we put black men as being, they were fucking criminals put on a pedestal. That's what they were criminals. Everything that we have to endure that's supposed to be painting these black men in some type of light always has them connected to some type of criminal activity. The scene where they driving through and the drunk talking passing by the chain gang with the man with the YT man on the horse and the drunk acting like oh like free them guys. Them motherfuckers was committing crimes though. Y'all don't tell that story. Y'all keep saying, yeah, they were able to extend what enslavement was. Because again, when you buy into this idea of hegemonic masculinity, the system know that if I tell men this is what they're supposed to do and they can't do it, we're gonna fill up prisons and graveyards. That's a part of the plan. They put it in a cycle. They already know. Oh, if I tell men that they got to do boom, 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 and I strip them of the opportunity to do one of them, they're going to commit crimes, which is going to give me a reason to put them here. So y'all play into it without giving a fuck about nobody else. and they make everything when every time they put a man in a certain situation, a black man in a situation that's supposed to be the good guy, the person we're supposed to be rooting for, he's going to be attached with criminal activities. And why is that? Why is it going to be something immoral he do? Even with they're interacting with the women. Why is he being painted as this heroic man after he did that woman down bad after they lost their child? He didn't support her in losing the child and in the postpartum and the things that she could have been going through. He didn't support her. He didn't get her out off that plantation. He think that he could come back to her because she got his fucking baby. If that's not representative of what these niggas do, I don't know what is. Why the fuck are you acting like he a good man? Because he went out in a fiery blaze of glory. Motherfuckers always want to play Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you ate that up real bad because they love a good Call of Duty. Also, too, you know what I noticed? Why they come back? They came back to exploit their own community. They didn't come back and build a grocery store. They didn't come back there. The first thing they did was like, we gonna get a juke joint and we gonna sell
I
liquor
almost
to our
started
own
shouting.
people.
Tara, I almost started shouting on your life. They let not only did he not get the grocery store, he went over there. Y'all, hold me back. Hold my wig. Y'all, the shit pissing me off the more I think about it. And Tara, that's why it's good, because it is propaganda. Constantly painting these black men like they some fucking heroes when they are destructive as the motherfucker. Even the symbolism of Stacks going being turning into a vampire is a perfect sign. But hold on, let me calm down. I watched the hood vlog, and almost all the hood vlogs do a lot of things, but one of the things they do, they got to bring us to a motherfucking corner
Not they
store.
got to. Not they got to do it.
They got to bring us to a motherfucking corner store, bodega, liquor, whatever you call it in your local hood area. They gotta bring us there. It's gonna be Aki. It's gonna be it's gonna be a motherfucking person, man, or whoever running the store who is not from our community, gonna be selling shit, and they gotta put them up, big them up, promote them, and all this type of stuff. They best buds. They fucking with them. They josting with them. They kicking with them, using all our street language, letting them play in our fucking face, letting them fucking mock the culture that is your fucking hood culture. And you sitting up there skinning and fucking grinning, showing your motherfucking tonsils while they in your community making motherfucking money, talking to your scary, weird ass behind a motherfucking pew-pew-proof glass, watching you. They laughing, but they really got their motherfucking hand on a button just in case your dumb ass do something. And you laughing. The same thing on the fucking centers. Yeah, you went to the motherfuckers that's invading your neighborhood, making money on your motherfucking head, code switching. When they talk to your ass, they talking real jazzy and motherfucking jive. But then when they talking to the YT Plantation, who they work with to sell you shit with the plantation fucking money, you up here think it's all funny and you being cavalier, and you ask them for help. The nerve and the representation of her being the one that invited them in tells you that they don't give a fuck about the community. She said her shit come first. When they started playing in her mind about her shit being fucked with, she said, I don't give a fuck about you niggas. Let them in. We all about to go. And y'all don't see that? Sorry for my rant, but that shit pissed me off. Whoever, my bad. That shit pissed me off.
Girl, you was taking us to church.
Yes, I wanted to say too that the Chinese, Lord, I don't know if they were Chinese. I'm so sorry,
They
y'all.
was
Forgive
Chinese.
me.
No, they was Chinese. No,
Okay.
that's the point. They were
All right.
Chinese in Mississippi.
Yeah, them having the a store for blacks and a store for whites, and the division is showing that. It's what I saw in it. Of course, everybody saw it too. was how they will, and it's the code switching too, right? But the Chinese would take it another level deeper because the Chinese weren't being invited to the white people's party, YT
Mm-mm.
people's party, into their house. You see what I'm saying? They
Right.
weren't. It wasn't to that level. So it's not only are you like, and because we may have had to go to that supermarket if it was only one in town, right? So you already are getting our money that way. But now I'm also getting side gigs. I'm pulling up. I'm making money by working your party, working at your juke joint. It's just like a triple doubling down, a triple down on exploiting and using, us and our resources and our money, what have you, no matter where the source came from. And the thing that I did like, that I was very, very worried about, was I am so tired of the trope about the church saving us black people. I was like, I literally was holding my breath at the end. Like, if he go back to this damn church and be like, I see the truth now, Dad. Jesus was the way. I was gonna walk out. Because I'm over that line. So there were some things that I liked that were kind of turned upside down or turned on his head, where I didn't have to hear that be the ending of the story. Like, if you black people just fell in line and followed Jesus, you'd have been okay. Like, I was gonna lose my shit. So there were
Oh,
some
I'm so
things
glad you,
that I liked about that.
Dark Horse. I'm so glad that you brought that up. I wanted to say, I thought that the movie was beautiful. I thought that it was beautiful. I thought the movie itself was beautiful, but but when you really look deep into the role that black men were playing in our community, in that specific movie, it was nothing but exploitation. How it was nothing about how they just leave my soda alone, put it down, have your own soda. Take them, just go on now, boy. Take it. You see, I'm getting exploited right now by a young black man for my soda. All right. But the father who was exploiting this community through the church, the drunk who was who basic who probably had a bunch of freaking kids running around who didn't do nothing but sit down and get absolutely wasted and drunk playing music. It was the twins that came in there, and instead of making their own grocery store, they went for their own people. They went and made a juke joint. But if you look at every role that each black man played in the specific movie, it was all about ways that they were able to exploit their own community. That's it.
What's up, Prince?
I agree.
Hey, what's
Hey.
up?
Hey,
I thought you
Prince.
guys were. Hey, I came in late because I thought you guys were talking about a raisin in the sun. Because I heard a liquor store on the corner. I'm like, wait, what are we talking about?
What the hell, Prince? Now you
I
making
came
up
in
stuff.
late.
You done let me.
No.
You done picked up on me lying, and now you lying. Oh, that's the real thing.
Yeah, that was a point in the raisin in the sun. The
Oh,
male
I ain't
character
never
wanted to
seen
use. Yeah, no, it's tragic. It kind of ties into Sinners as well. Using resources instead of doing good for the community.
it.
He went and bought a liquor store where the money was supposed to go
Damn.
to his a younger sister so she can go to college.
Wow.
Old movie, right?
Yeah, with P. Diddy. Imagine that.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, no,
Damn.
he played the lead. Imagine
No,
that.
but wait, it's a book.
Yeah, it's a book and a movie.
Oh,
Raisin in
okay,
the Sun.
okay. I know I heard about it, but I know it was like real old. Like, damn. So that's what it's
Yeah.
about. They stole the girl
Hold up,
college.
y'all. Hold up, everybody. Cause I was just talking shit, but y'all got into it. I'm gonna restart the live.
Okay. Oh, you serious? Okay. All right.
Okay.
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 All right.
I'm right
Damn,
there.
okay.
All right.
I'm
We
a
coming
drop.
back.